Troopers and grinders, welcome to Hank's post-show recap of UFC 316. Well, yeah. Some sunlight. There we go. Hello, everyone. Welcome to my recap of the show. First, let's take a look at our opening bout. We had Markel Medeiros taking on Mark the Shark Choinsky. Got to tell the UFC, please sign Mark the Shark. Please give him more fights. This guy gave Markel Medeiros the fight of his life, if you don't count the last one that he had. Excellent work from Mark the Shark, just staying at range, piecing up Markel Medeiros. And Markel Medeiros, to be fair, he was very quick. Very flashy and fluid in his striking, and he was able to turn the franchise around and find not a unanimous. Was it a unanimous decision? I think it was a unanimous decision. I think they gave him like a 30-27 at one point. But yeah, Mark the Shark. I'd say he looked pretty good in there. Yo, Northwest, good to see you. How's it going, my man? But hope you've been well. Hope you still got Wi-Fi, dude. I'm glad my donation helped. But Markel Medeiros, yeah, he was flashy, he was quick. Put on the Sugar Ray Leonard treatment on old Mark the Shark Choinsky and won himself a decision, but not the most impressive win in the world. And all I can take from this is please sign Mark the Shark to the UFC. I do until the 18th. Well, keep it up, man. I hope those donations keep on coming. Let's take a look at our next fight. What do we got? Bum bum bum. Boom. Do do do. Do do do. Abracadabra. I wanna reach out and grab you. Oh, stupid Wi-Fi. Shit, I'm not even close. Give me 1 second, guys. Should be here soon. Oops. When are you? Where are you? Okay, then we have the can. And before that, okay, here we go. Next up, we had Quillan Salkeld taking on Yanal Hashmuz, the Red Fox. Quillan Salkeld sort of looked like Markel Medeiros did. He was very smooth on the feet, although he did show a grappling edge, and in my opinion, dominated the first couple rounds. But in the third, he started to gas a little bit. Yanal Hashmuz fired back, started to get Quillan down to the ground, started to piece him up. Me too, they aren't, though. It's all good. It happens. Yeah, that's life. And that's life. That's life. But Quillan Salkeld showed his grappling dominance early on in this thing, and then it all started to fall apart over time, and he was fighting for dear life in that third round to just survive, just grabbing onto and humping the legs of Yanal Hashmuz. Didn't do him any good for the third round. In my opinion, he lost it. But Yanal Hashmuz, he was looking bad in the first half of this fight, and Quillan Salkeld was looking like a prospect as long as he keeps that gas tank up. He should be able to go on a run in the UFC, in my opinion. Especially, it's at lightweight. So actually, good luck to you, Quillan. Good luck with that. He did knock out the GOAT Jubilee, to be fair, so got to give him a little bit of credit there. But for the most part, Quillan Salkeld, I'd say he coasted for most of this thing. It got a little hairy towards the end, but he's still a prospect to look out for, just not a finisher like we all hoped that he would be. Let's take a look at our next fight. Boo-doo-doo. Boo-doo-doo. Nope, not settings. Yeah. Here we go. Dum. Not share screen. Oh my god, this is driving me crazy. We'll get there, folks. The process takes time, all right? Too many cooks, they spoil the broth. Too much time destroys the rind. What was next? got a pretty good photographic memory of the card. I just don't recall where I placed it in my database. Here we go. I believe this is the next fight that happened, but I could be wrong. Let me actually check Tapology for this. I gotta make sure. Fight that happened. All right, then we had, yes, okay. There we go. Next fight was, if my computer allows it, in your head, zombie, 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 your head, in your head, zombie, zombie. And I believe I had a screenshot for this too. Let me see if I can find it. I'll get to it. But I really liked that this guy, Juseng Yu, kept the Korean Zombies theme song, because it's a fantastic theme song. And given that Juseng Yu stepped out of Korea, South Korea, and TKZ's promotion, I'm glad that he kept the Korean Zombies legacy alive by singing this song. But why can't I find it? Oh, brother. Let me see if I can find this thing. Should be here somewhere. Give me 1 second, guys. The lengths I will go to find my jokes. Let me see. Shiza. Right, let me scroll back up. Here it is. Oh, it's gone again. Got a bit too hasty there, folks. Got to be careful. I saw it for just a second. That's A-Train. Scroll up. It should be it. There we go. In your head. Zombie, zombie, be, in your head, zombie, zombie. Sorry, I'm still here just trying to charge my phone. And it's taking forever if I stay on it. No problem. Don't worry about it, Northwest. But yeah, Juseng Yu walked out to the legendary Cranberry song, their only good song, Zombies. And I instantly wanted him to win after that. Next thing you know, he's landing a beautiful short check hook on Jekka Sargi. To be fair, he was getting pieced up a bit. Sargi was like bum rushing him like he was Derek Brunson Jr. and cracking him with some big shots. But then next thing you know, bam, short left hook, down he goes. Fell like Manny Pacquiao, fell like Marc-Andre Barriault when Joe Pyfer, when he actually has power, which is the first couple seconds of the first round, fell just face forward like Trump going up the stairs of his airplane. But timber, down went the tin can, Jekasargi. So beautiful round 1 KO from Ju Sang Yu, the new Korean zombie. Everybody, give him a hand. He's got some hype, baby. Jew is a problem. Yes, the Jew's a problem, man. Yeah. Is Merab the best bantamweight ever now or not? Yeah, he is. He is. Beats the guy you won the belt from even easier. Hi, Brazil here. Brazil here. It's Pilo H. How are you doing, my brother? Hello, Brazilian man. Portuguese man, good to see you. Welcome to the Hank Tank Army. You are now one of the troopers and grinders. Yes, Pulse. Yeah, he is. He dominated the former champion and submitted him. So, yeah, nobody can stop Merab now. Maybe apart from maybe like Pantoja or somebody. Corey, I don't think can do it. But let's move on to our next fight. Better than Dominic Cruz already? Yes. He's surprisingly finished his last competition. I don't think Cruz could ever beat Umar, beat a dominant, undefeated Dagestani. I know Dominic Cruz wouldn't be able to do that. No way, no how. I think Umar would have destroyed Dominic Cruz. Here is the StreamYard link for anyone who wants to attend the post show and give their thoughts and opinions on everything. Let's take a look at our next fight. Let's see, where is it? The hunt begins. All right, so there was Sal killed, and then he was there. Where's the Joker, baby? Give me 1 second, guys. Might have to cut the post shows short at some point. 1 second, Pulse. I'll be right there. Just gotta find the right image. Once I start, I can't stop. Here we go. All right, our next fight. Oh, I will if you'll allow it. Oh, Paulo H says, I'm a jungle fighter, student of Andrea. Andrea! Hey, it's been a while since I've seen Andrea. How's he doing, man? Best karate female of Latin America. Well, Andrea's actually hung out in this live chat before, so thank you for being here. It's a pleasure to meet you. Welcome to the Hank Tank Army. Without further ado, we have old Pulse from Texas. How's it going, Pulse?
Hank, brother, what's going on?
Not much, man. Not much. I'm trying out my new recap format for the show.
Okay. Yeah. So, what did you think of 316 overall?
I thought it was a good pay-per-view. I'm glad that the title fights had finishes for once. Feels like forever since we've had a finish in a title fight, and it came from the two competitors I think we'd least expect to get finishes, so that was pretty cool. Gives them a little bit of hype. Ju Sang Yu, him knocking out Sergey alone makes the pay-per-view worth the watch. And apart from that, great fights too. Very competitive fights. So I'm going to edit this slide so that you can get in here too. There we go. All right, move this here. And yeah, I think when there weren't great finishes, there were great fights. So I thought it was a good time in my opinion. I mean, he sort of slowed down towards the middle of the card, middle of the main card. Patchy Mix's debut was just fucking embarrassing for everybody. And then Joe Piper couldn't find a knockout like I predicted. So yeah.
Yeah, no, I used to be so high on Piper. I thought he was going to be a two-division champ for sure. Now, I mean, he'll be somebody to be reckoned with. But it's crazy, especially at middleweight. All these guys are falling out like Bo Nickel. You
Yeah,
know,
I know.
what do you
Well,
make
I
of
mean,
this?
that's
What
the
do you
thing.
make of this guy?
If he's not
I'm sorry
facing
to cut you off. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
he's not facing a guy who wants to stand and bang and immediately get chinned, he's usually in trouble. Old Joe Piper. The guy's just a little bit more technical. He's usually on skates.
I was gonna ask, what do you make of this guy, Rainer de Renner or whatever his name?
Oh, I love
like,
RDR. Well, he's a former one champion both in middleweight and light heavyweight. So he's a double champion outside the UFC. So it's actually no surprise that he destroyed Bo Nickel. He has zero MMA experience.
He kind of reminds me of DDP, like his come up. They're having the same career arc. Is he the next Driscus Duplessis?
He could be. I think that's why he's having a fight with Robert Whitaker right now. Is so that, oh man, is he the new Drickus? Can he knock out Whitaker? I don't know if he can or not, to be honest. If GM3 can crack him, then anybody can.
It seems like Bobby Knuckles is like the new gatekeeper. It's like if you beat him, you're on your way up. If you can't beat him, then we know who you are.
Yeah, which shows they got a little faith in RDR, which is great for him. Fantastic for him. And I couldn't have happened to a nicer guy. He's always smiling. Even when he's finding finishes, the dude's always just oozing with positivity. It's infectious. So I don't know why the crowd's
I gotta say,
RDR.
No, I gotta say, like, especially these Euros or anybody from over there, like these American fighters, I don't opposite of like I know I mean, you gotta have it's like a fine line. You gotta have a little bit of that attitude, but then you gotta remain humble at times. You know, it's like I feel like Conor McGregor, he set the bar. It's like everybody who comes in, they always act like their stuff don't stink, and it's like it's just a matter of time before you get humbled.
We got some breaking news. Paulo H is congratulating me for the solo channel, and he also says that Andrea is going to stay in camp for Karate Combat in December in the US of A. So look forward in how many months? Like 6 months, half a year. We will see the great Andrea, who is an OG of this channel's chat, in Karate Combat. So look forward to the name Andrea in the Karate Combat. We'll see. We might see Andrea. A longtime member of the channel of the podcast fighting for real on live TV. So pretty exciting stuff.
I'll support him.
So speaking of which, we
also I was going to ask.
What?
No, I was just going to ask. Do we have any update on Ben Askren, man? Please tell me it's not bad news.
Let's take a look. Oh, brother. Well, we got crazy news all over the place right now. There's a police attempted crackdown in LA. Praying he pulls through. Wife of Ben Askren says he's unable to respond. That was 7 hours ago.
Oh, shit.
Let's see. Hospitalized. Chael Sonnen. Ben Askren is alive and prayers are wanted. His family is choosing privacy at this time. Okay. So
I'm not an Askren fan, but I don't have hatred in my heart for the guy. I don't know him or nothing, but it's like I wonder how honestly at this hour I wonder how Jorge Masvidal feels. Like, do you think he feels bad?
Even he might feel bad, but he's also sort of an idiot, so he might not even comprehend the situation, you know. So who knows? But Chael P apparently said that he's still alive, so I mean that's a good sign, but he's probably still in a very hospitalized and critical state. So don't know, man, don't know. Hank, let's watch the riots. I'm good, Cheddarhead. I've watched a dude watch the riots for the last like 3 or 4 hours, so I'm overheated. Riot team playing volleyball with smoke grenades with protesters. That is true. They were, and looks like the protesters were getting the better of that. But speaking of women going at it in the past, not the future, we had Ariana Grande, Ariana Lipski da Silva taking on Kong the Joker, baby, Wang, and I picked Wang by decision. She got it done exactly that way. Although I will say she came close to knocking out Ariana Lipski at one point because the leg kicks were way too much for her. People forget, man. Kong Wang beat Valentina Shevchenko in kickboxing. Her legs are made of mahogany, and she's a marauder. And she took Ariana Lipski down at a few points, and if she'd have kept kicking the legs, I think she would have actually found a finish. But she did not yet, and instead Ariana Lipski got back up, hit Kong Wang with some big shots. Like, the one thing you got to say about Kong is that her striking defense is very subpar. She often stays still as a statue if she can't find the right shot, and got her in trouble a few times, but as long as the chin's there, she should keep going through the women's flyweight division, and good to see Kong Wang be ranked. She is a star in the making for sure.
Okay, so this was not a bathroom break fight. This was a good battle.
Yeah, I mean, she dropped Ariana Lipski due to leg strikes at one point, and it was just a slobber knocker for most of this thing. There were a lot of good fights apart from the finishes, and people forget, man. So good for Kong Wang. I'm a big fan of her. She's one of my favorite women's fighters right now. Yet another Chinese women's fighter who I really like. The Chinese are based as fuck when it comes to action in the cage. So more of that, please. And Ming Yang Zhang, too. In the future, we can participate in the channel. Salute to you, Paulo H. But so you didn't watch this fight, did you, Pulse?
I didn't watch. Was this the undercard?
It was on the early prelims.
Oh no. I just checked out the main event.
Oh man, I mean
the main card. The main card.
Watch, no doubt about it. It was pretty good.
No, I mean the main card. I didn't catch any of the prelims.
Dude, the prelims were so good, man. Compared to the main card, they were fantastic. Main card sort of shit the bed, in my opinion.
Do you ever get burnt out on cage fighting?
No, not really, because there's a lot of cage fighting to go around, and if you're not watching UFC, you're watching LFA or Cage Warriors or Brave or UAE Warriors and this stuff, and there's a lot more action outside the UFC, in my opinion. So
whatever happened to that GFL? I remember all those guys went over there, and it's like, is that a thing?
GFL had an abortion late stage. And they just ceased to exist. That AI music video shit really killed them. So
all that for nothing. Well, they were dressed up like Spartans and stuff. I was excited for a second.
Yeah, it was. And if they'd have actually held a show, maybe they would have survived. But instead, they chickened out like a certain president. They pulled a taco, and it's bad news for him. Man.
Okay, now I saw the highlights of this. What a debut for the young Gustafson.
Absolutely.
I
know
Chaos Williams is legit.
ASW based. But yeah, you saw parts of this.
Yes. Okay. Now am I wrong? Doesn't he look just like Alexander?
He looks like Alexander Gustafsson without hair. If he was like going through chemo treatment.
Oh shit.
Yeah, he's looking he's looking like Powder, the main character of that movie, Powder. Maybe Caillou, But he made up for his looks with insane pressure and pace. This is one of the very few fights I got wrong on this card. I went 10-13, pretty good percentage. But I called this fight horribly because I thought that Chaos Williams would be able to crack Andreas with a big shot as he was rushing in. But apparently Chaos just did not have that idea in mind, and it cost him very dearly because Andreas would just get him into that Greco-Roman clinch like we saw in the Contender Series and just knee, elbow, take you down, punch around the guard. And Chaos Williams' face after the fight looked like a Picasso masterpiece. Like, looks like someone just spread strawberry jam all over him.
Chaos Williams, his career kind of he came in here, on like a meteoric rise. He knocked out what's his name? Razak Al Hassan. What's the dude's name? Abdul Razak Al Hassan or whatever.
Yes.
Slept him. He had a great fight against Mahip. He lost by decision, but it was a great fight. And now it's just like he's not the same guy. I don't know. I'm not sure what's up with him.
Andrea also gave this recommendation before for us to put the channel in the Portuguese language so that it can blow up in Brazil. But Pulse, does that mean like captions in Brazil in Portuguese, or actually like translating with AI into Portuguese?
They got these earbuds that are promoting on TikTok. Apparently, they can translate in real time.
That's right.
I might invest some money in them.
Yeah, I might invest a little bit. Might buy them.
Yeah.
We'll see. Andreas Gustafsson was student of my sensei, Gracie BJJ. Well, there you go. I mean, he hasn't shown his BJJ yet, but he's definitely shown some Muay Thai and some absolutely brutal judo. And it's come through, in my opinion. It's been fantastic work from Andreas Gustafsson. Chaos Williams had a kind of performance where if he loses one more fight, he should get cut, in my opinion. This was fucking embarrassing.
You think?
He landed nothing. No offense.
What's his record now?
Let me check.
Is he falling off that bad?
I believe he lost to Gabriel Bonfim before this.
Yes.
15-5 UFC record. And he lost to Gabriel Bonfim in his last fight. But he did win against Carlston Harris with the right hook. So he's on a 2-fight losing streak. But again, I'm more cruel. I say if it's 3 or 4 losses, you're gone, in my opinion. It's hard to come back from
okay,
that.
looking forward.
Your name's GM3. It's pretty impossible.
I was going to say, looking forward, if you were a matchmaker, who would you want to see him at welterweight against next?
Andreas?
No, Chaos Williams.
Yeah, well, I'd put him against somebody that would just have a complete scrap with him and wouldn't grapple him whatsoever. I'd give him a chance and say, like, okay, if you can still do what we wanted you to do in stand-up, like all-action fights and knock this other guy out, then we'll give you another chance in another fight. But if not, then get rid of him because he's just lost everything that made him special as a welterweight. That's my opinion. But let me look through some of these Tapology welterweights and see if I can find somebody for him. He's pretty low on the roster already. I'd say, you know what? I would say give him like an Alex Morono or a Court McGee, someone that he could beat,
Bro,
and if he doesn't, then
I just got to say this real quick. The fact that Court McGee is still on the roster, do you realize Court McGee has been a welterweight since like Johnny Hendricks and Carlos Condit days? Yeah, those guys have been retired for well over 5 years.
Yeah, absolutely crazy stuff. But yeah, I mean, Chaos Williams, where is he? Where is he ranked? I can't actually find him in here. Let me see where Tapology has him ranked so I can like try to put somebody close to him. Oh yeah, there's Chaos. Danny Barlow might be interesting. Tim Means, that could be a close fight.
Tim Means is still on the roster?
Is he? I think he's still on the roster.
Wow.
Or Preston Pressure Parsons, someone like that, where you can give him a chance.
Is Jeff Mills still ranked in the top 15?
Yes, he is. I think he destroyed the legs of RDA and just smashed them. No diddy.
Oh, wow.
Good to see you, Zenu, by the way. I hear in Brazil in Academy we have an Irish student. That's a good sign. In the future, he will make introduction in live because he speaks 2 languages. That's definitely a strength to have, especially in this in this land of milk and honey and lights, cameras, and action. So we could end up on the next Ultimate Fighter season. Who knows? Or get a nice spot in Cage Warriors. But yeah, let's move on to our next fight. Boom, boom, boom. But fantastic work from Andreas Gustafsson, and honestly, I think he should have gotten a Performance of the Night bonus. It makes me pissed that you have to get a finish in order to get a Performance of the Night bonus. Like, imagine if you don't give a Performance of the Night bonus to Cody Garbrandt when he schools Dominic Cruz because he didn't finish him, it's just sort of it's pointless. And I think if you get a finish over a guy, you should be rewarded for it. So yeah, I'm good for Andreas Gustafsson. Give me a rant while I'm trying to find this next fight, would you, Pulse?
Okay, I got a rant for you. Sean O'Malley's days as a legitimate contender are over, and I couldn't be happier. Listen,
Yeah.
I mean, he was the biggest hype train for the longest time. And he was surviving on borrowed time for the longest, if you ask me. And now, I don't know if it can happen, but they need to go ahead and book him versus Garbrandt. Like, I just want to see what it looks like.
That would definitely be fun. I sort of wish they could have just done O'Malley versus Corey Sandhagen for the #1 contender spot. I think people have been itching for that fight for a very long time. Realistically, I wonder who the UFC would give O'Malley after this. I think they pull like an Izzy treatment, where they like want to put him against someone they think is going to be an easy fight for him, like Imavov, and then bam, Sean O'Malley just gets slept,
That would be great. He came in at the right time. He like if he had fought Prime Garbrandt and Prime Tyler Jeffrey Dillashaw, I don't think he'd have the record that he did. And he got fast tracked, and we all know it. So
yeah.
You know
what they might
do? It is what it
is. So they have Peter Yan against Marcus McGee already. So that's unfortunately that rematch is probably not going to happen because the timing would be off. I'd say they'd probably give him Song Yadong. They'd probably give O'Malley Song Yadong so that he could style on Song Yadong and have a great back.
You think? What if Song knocks him out? It's over for him, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. So it's either winner or get out. I mean, that's what they're going to do. That's not what I prefer, but that's what they're going to do, Shout out my people. How's it going, Mr. C? Your people is the Hank Tank Army, is the Troopers and Grinders, and now you can count yourself among them, Mr. C. So make sure to like the stream and subscribe so you can get more wacky-ass Hank content. I don't speak and write your language very good, but I try. You're doing a very good job, Paulo H. And one thing I want to mention, Pulse, is that it seems like the Brazilians and the Portuguese-speaking fighters actually are the more entertaining English speakers outside of the United States, so that it can actually still bring the character and charisma. And I think that comes down to just how like dynamic the Portuguese language is and how like that mentality actually adheres pretty well to the English language. All fighters of Andreas Academy speak Spanish. Nice. What's up, Pulse?
A while ago on my channel, if they had MMA in the Olympics, which country would win the gold? Just
if they had an MMA Olympics? Oh, MMA in the Olympics. It'd be the Dagestanis for sure. I think it'd be the Dagestanis. Either that or it would be between the Brazilians and the Dagestanis.
You say that though, but just
I mean, I say that.
Okay, I hear that. But I mean,
just think the Georgians could win too.
Okay, but I mean historically. I mean, just hear me out. Just think about the American team. Historically, you would have John Jones on that team. Okay?
Right.
You would assuredly have Daniel Cormier on that team.
That's why the MMA in the Olympics doesn't work, is because there are multiple weight classes.
Okay.
That doesn't make sense.
Sure.
That's why they don't have a role in the Olympics.
Yeah, no, I guess you're right.
Yeah, so I don't. Weight advantage would be too unfair. It'd just be like the Wild West in the 1990s. They'd never allow that. But our next fight is between the polarizing bear, Sergey Spivak, and Where's Waldo? Cortez Acosta. And I picked Sergey Spivak to win because I thought that he would immediately shoot the takedown on Waldo Cortez Acosta. But it seemed like he had a point to prove. And he just started throwing out head kicks and trying to knock out Waldo on the feet, which worked for a little while. And then Where's Waldo turned the tables and started landing some big body shots of his own. Spivak just reverted to his guard where he does absolutely nothing, and he left the body completely exposed like he's fucking Mr. Sandman, you know? And Waldo Cortez Acosta took full control, started to beat him up, hit him with some big shots while Spivak just hung around, just looked paralyzed in there, which would be a string of fighters that would look paralyzed in the cage, start that off. But yeah, Spivak, I'd say he won the third round. Like, he actually was landing some big shots and Costa was like reacting to them. Now, some of them could have been a fake reaction, but others didn't look so fake. So I honestly think the significant strike numbers were way off on that third round. I think Spivak looked quite good in there in the first and third rounds. But they gave it to Waldo Cortez Acosta anyway. I mean, my nightmare continues because I despise the Salsa Boy. But at least one of them gets to lose. So good showing from both men, in my opinion. And sometimes you just have close fights like these ones, and it didn't work out for me. What's your opinion about Brazil? I think Brazil, I'm glad that it elected a Democratic leader and kicked Bolsonaro the fuck out, that Timu Trump motherfucker, who tried to poison the new president, by the way. He tried to poison him. So it shows cut from the same cloth. But I don't like that they're hanging out with Russia and China and making deals with them right now and playing buddy with cozying up to some dictators right now. I'm not a big fan of that, but I do think that overall their party that's currently in power is way better than what it had before. But it's still a little sketchy, man. There's always some sort of corruption scandal on either side in Brazil, and even though I like their politics at times, they can be a very corrupt system. Got to be real. I love the culture. I love the fighters. I love the language and everything. I even like the statue that hangs over it. So it's got a beautiful architecture. It's one of the wonders of the world, in my opinion. I love the people, but it's just the structure of power is a very shaky one. Can't say that much.
Random question. Have you ever
What? Your audio is cutting out big time, Pulse.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Now I can hear you.
Have you ever been to LA?
I have been to LA before, yes. I took a tour of the colleges.
Would you go now?
I have not gone now, and I
would you go there right now?
I have looked at coverage of it, and I hope the protesters win, but I know that's not an easy battle.
Yeah, LA, it seems like a cesspool.
Well, I mean, the traffic is definitely a cesspool, but I'd say there's a certain cesspool that's hanging around a certain detention facility, grabbing people off the streets at restaurants and other places and just packing them into their little oven. So, or not, that's a terrible phrasing of it, but a hot box, packing them in a hot box and just trying to get rid of protesters. And yeah, I'd say it's a cesspool right now because of outside factors. But traffic's definitely terrible. Also, it was on fucking fire earlier this year, so it's not looking good right now. But again, I think that's due to a lot of outside factors that you could call the whole world a cesspool for some of the problems it's bringing to LA. What is your state in the U.S.? Cali, but I'm more up north. Let's get to our next fight. Bada bing, bada boom. Realest guy in the room. How you doing? Thank you for being here, by the way, Pulse. I appreciate you coming on.
Not a problem, Tank. Not a problem.
I think this is the next fight. I believe so. Check that really quick.
Quick question. As far as the guy we just spoke about, future matchmaking, who do you want to see him in there against next?
Who, Waldo?
Yeah.
Because he just beat Sergey Spivak. He's a great find. I'd love to find him. Let me look at the rankings.
I'm thinking like a Tybora or something like that. I think
Tybora makes a lot of sense. That'd be good matchmaking for sure. Or Shamil Gaziev. That'd be pretty fun. Either of those guys works out. Then we have the professional, Azamat Mirzakhanov, or as I like to call him, Leon the Professional, taking on Brenson Ribeiro, who was the luckiest SOB on the planet when he got the arm triangle on Nerzogay. Why are you gay? But he found the arm bar on him out of nowhere after he was getting his ass kicked by Dyar. But now he has to deal with another big power puncher in Azamat Mirzakhanov, who just takes his time, gets hit a little bit by Brenson, pushes him up against the fence, and then bing, bang, boom, bam, big meaty hooks, all crafty butt, yeah, right around the guard, and cracked Brenson Ribeiro. He was on skates doing the truffle shuffle like he's tied to Ivasa, and then Azamat gets him down, just puts his whole fucking leg on his torso, hammer, drops the hammer, and that's it. Round 1 KO, just like I predicted. Azamat is becoming a killer in the light heavyweight division after that PED positivity. He has come back with a vengeance to prove a point. And Brenson Ribeiro, I just thought this guy got knocked out by one of the ranked heavyweights in Ming Yang Zhang. He's going to get knocked out again early. And that's exactly what happened, dude. Don't mess with the professional. I also put up this image of Brenson Ribeiro because it's Nagito from Danganronpa, and he's the ultimate lucky student who just has insane luck. So that's why I put that there for old Brenson. Your friend
did not watch this fight.
Have a question about Brazil or Latin America. Do you have any questions for Paulo Pulse?
You say he's a kickboxer?
He trains in Jungle Fight. I think he's a stand-up guy, but he's probably a stand-up guy in general, but he also has some BJJ in his arsenal, I believe.
Oh, man, he should go to that league. Sam Alvey. He's a champion in that league where they're in that they're in like
Sam Alvey.
Yeah.
You should definitely get himself involved in karate combat. That's a great into MMA. Also, I'd say LFA, of course. He's in Jungle Fight right now. I'd say LFA is a pretty easy path to the top. So is Cage Warrior, so I'd probably get involved in that too. There's some promotions you can go to get an easy path to the UFC. And then Brenson is a Para State Hibero martial art born of First Nation in Marho Island and Amazon River. Fascinating. He still got his ass knocked out. All right, let's get to our next fight, shall we? But by the way, how have you been since last we chatted, Pulse?
Oh, I'm alive, so that's you know what I'm saying, like that every day. That's all.
Yeah, that's not bad.
You know what I mean? Like, I figured, like, every American, we're all in the same struggle every day. You know what I mean? Like, just staying alive.
Some of us have a tougher time than others, though. It can get pretty scary out there.
That's true. I gotta remind myself of that every day. Like, I was driving down. I seen some homeless people, and like, even though they were living on the street, they didn't have a care in the world. They were carefree, and so it seems like middle class. We're the only ones. Like, the American wealthy, they're not tripping over nothing. Like, they're wealthy, you know what I'm saying? They don't have any worries. And like, people who are dirt poor, they have worries.
They have worries, Pulse. You just don't see them because they try to present themselves as untouchable. But in reality,
yeah, sure,
a lot of them are dealing with mental issues.
No, that is true. Like, I find food every day. That's true. That's probably true.
Yeah. So everybody hurts. Everybody cries.
No, it's just amazing to me.
As U2 once said, "Everybody hurts." But what were you saying?
No,
Oh,
you never do these references. Like every time cutting off.
hardly.
Hello?
All right.
Here?
Now you sound a little better. Say something.
Okay. Something.
Okay. All right. I can hear you more clearly.
I was saying, never cease to amaze me with these references. You know, used to songs. No,
Oh,
Bruno's
yeah.
and
Yeah. The audio's dead. Yeah. Off it goes. Whoops. Our next fight was between not middleweight Bruno Silva, but flyweight Bruno Silva against Joshua Van. Let me get rid of this. Boom, 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 boom. Move me here. There we go. All right. Save. Save. Oh, nope. Other one. My stream passed away. No problem, Pulse. Don't worry about it. My martial arts are Sando, karate, BJJ, judo, and savate. Impressive. Good that you have a diverse arsenal right there. A versatile striking game, Paulo H. That'll get you far. Just make sure to maybe have some wrestling in there too, in case you need to start shooting some takedowns. No problem, Pulse. But flyweight Bruno Silva, not middleweight Bruno Silva, took on the Van, Joshua Van, and got to say that the Van drove right through Bruno Silva. Just had fantastic combinations, super fast as fuck boy. And Bruno Silva just had no answers, kept getting hit with big shots right around the guard, big overhands. And by the third round, his face was just a bloody mess. Meanwhile, Joshua Van didn't have a scratch on him and threw a big overhand left that boom caught Bruno Silva again. And he was just right down on the cage, shelling up. Bing, bang, boom, bum. Joshua Van wins a round 3 KO. Almost perfect performance from Joshua Van. This dude is the future of the flyweight division, looking like a flyweight Peter Yan. And just another freaking, just another guy put in front of him that he just knocks right down right on his way to the top. Joshua Van looks better and better with every fight, and looking forward to this kid's next fight. Next one. What do we have? All you had to do was follow the damn van, Bruno. All right, here we go. Do you know the BRICS economic? Yes, that is a economic alliance between countries, right? It's outside of the EU and their Brexit deal, right? Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, Egypt, Ethiopia. It's more than BRICS, although it's quite a few. Egypt, Ethiopia, Indonesia, Iran, and the United Arab Emirates. Can be tracked back to Russian Foreign Minister Primakov and the two forums. I see. Yep. So it's another economic alliance outside of Brexit in the U.S., which is probably smart, but eventually you'll get roped into some bad forces. Few of those countries are not ones you want to stick around with. And then we had Vicente Luque, the brain bleeder himself, against Kevin Holland. I had Holland by round 2 knockout. Instead, he got it done with his patented Darce. Luque looked all right on the feet. There were a few times that he was stinging Holland up as he was coming in. But for the most part, it was Holland using his length and his reach and his height to just keep his distance from Luque while just piecing him up from a distance. And that worked really well for him for almost the entirety of this fight. Got cocky, got too courageous at points and paid for it, but stayed in it. And then by the round 2, he just pushed Luque down to the ground and found his Darce that he got on Michael Chiesa for the easy round 2 sub. Holland at welterweight looks fantastic. He always does, especially when it's like right outside the rankings or on the outskirts of the rankings. But once he goes up to a certain level, he just comes crashing right back down and takes a dumb fight at middleweight, and the journeyman cycle goes all over and over again. But Kevin Holland always looks great on the outside rankings of welterweight. So honestly, you should stay there and keep fighting for that bag, man, if that's all he cares about. But if he wants to get serious, I would recommend that his next opponent be, I had a name in mind, but I can't for the life of me remember. Colby Covington. He called out Colby Covington on the mic, which is very smart move from Kevin Holland. That's a guy that he could actually beat, and it would actually sell some tickets, draw some money. So perfect call out from Kevin Holland, in my opinion. And the 45-70 man does it again, which is sad because he honestly deserves some karma after that Rampage Jackson appearance, but I guess it just made him stronger. And poor Vicente Luque, at least he didn't get knocked out, you know. So Kevin Holland right back in the mix, and I'm happy for him, but at the same time he's an absolute jackass, so can't feel too happy for him. Hold on, I need to get to the next fight. Where is it? Where art thou? Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. Mr. Sandman, bring us a dream. Make him the cutest that I've ever seen. Give him tulips like Rosie and Clover. What is your opinion of an explanation about execution for crimes in the USA? I don't know if there are executions. Well, I mean, in some states, like in Texas and Florida and these deep South states, there are executions for crimes. But in other states, there's just sort of sentences, and you just spend your time in jail. Or if you're an immigrant, you get placed in a detention facility and then deported outside the country. It all depends on who you are and what crime you committed and what state you're in when the court decides your fate. If you get a court, if you get your time in court at all, now we're in an age where you can just get kidnapped and deported like it's Argentina, so it all depends. It all depends. Sometimes the government just makes up crimes about you and has a quota for people they want to detain and deport. So it's very all over the place. But before the Trump administration, it was definitely more fair and you'd have your due process, but for execution for crimes. But now you're actually probably getting executed for crimes outside the country. We then have Mario Batista taking on Patchy Mix. And I had Patchy Mix by round 2 sub. I thought that he'd actually shoot a takedown in this fight, but that ended up not happening. Mario Batista kept this thing on the feet and just pieced up Patchy Mix, because apparently Patchy Mix has zero good, excellent striking whatsoever. Yet another Bellator fighter caught under the lights and the big crowds and the noise and just couldn't handle it at all, and got absolutely schooled. Looks like he was paralyzed from the waist down, and couldn't throw anything impressive. There were times he cracked Batista, but they were few and far between, and mostly it was just Patchy Mix getting effed up. didn't shoot a takedown once, didn't get Batista down to the ground once, and he paid for that and lost a very dominant decision to Mario Batista, which I hate because I despise Mario Batista, but I might hate Patchy Mix even more now because he refused to do anything against Mario Batista and should immediately just be in and out of the UFC like Abe Simpson when he comes into the restaurant and puts his coat and hat on the hooks and then immediately puts them back on and leaves. Because he sucks, and so does Patricio Pitbull. Stop signing these ex-Bellator guys, UFC. They always shit the bed, aside from MVP. And Mario Batista showed him how a UFC guy gets it done. Patchy Mix is trash, and I'm sad I picked him. Next fight. Let me see if I can find it in the first place. Oh, I know where it is. One second, let me find the next fight. It's taking forever. God damn it. Here we go. Here it is. All right. Next fight we got to break down is Kelvin Gastelum, the refrigerator man. They call him the fridge. Taking on Don't Be Like Joe Pyfer. Don't be like Joe Pyfer. The dude is a bigot and a town crier, and no one wants to be the boy who cried wolf. Future, we will have the academy in New York. Good luck to you, and I hope that the ICE agents don't find you at any point over the next 4 years, because they're looking for everybody. So just be careful with that. The future, do you stay in our channel? Can you stay in our channel? Do you have a channel? What's it called? Let me know. But we have Kelvin Gastelum against Joe Pyfer. And Joe had the best start he possibly could in this fight. Dropped Kelvin Gastelum like 3 or 4 times in the first round. Should have put him away. Just could not do anything surprisingly on the ground, though, to finish Kelvin up. And kept letting Kelvin get back to his feet. And then over time, Pyfer started to slow down. In my opinion, he lost the second and the third round. But the judges gave it to Joe anyway because he's a prospect and, they want him to be a star in the UFC. So they gave him the rounds and didn't give Kelvin Gastelum anything, even though Kelvin was up on significant strikes against Joe Pyfer. And Pyfer walked away with this thing with like 29-27, 30-27, 29-28. Just ridiculous judges' scorecards. So fucking rigged sometimes. And Joe Pyfer, I predicted this fight would go to a decision, and it did. Because Joe Pyfer's gas tank immediately goes down to empty after 2 minutes of the first round every single time, and that's what played out. He looks terrible after round 1. Looks like a fucking white version of Michelle Pereira. And, dude lost all his cardio, all his power in a matter of minutes. Kelvin Gastelum, in my opinion, outstruck him the last 2 rounds, and if it wasn't for that 10-8 If it wasn't for that 10-8 in the first, then I think Kelvin could have easily won this thing, but Joe Piper got lucky with the early knockdown, so good for Joe, but do not be like Joe Piper, and he loses to anybody in the middleweight top 10. Jared Cannonier destroys him. In the future, we'll make a channel for the Academy. Good stuff, Paulo. When you do, make sure to share the link with me. All right, let's take a look at our next fight. All right, here we go. Uh-oh. Where is it? Give me 1 second, guys. Here we go. And then we had our co-main event between Juliana Pena and Kayla Harrison. Juliana Pena looked rotten here, looked worse than I thought she would, honestly, but given how she got big womaned by Amanda Nunes, no Diddy, I'm not surprised. Kayla Harrison is usually very desperate with her takedowns and not able to get them and just searches and lunges for them. But this was an easier fight for her than Caitlin Vieira, which shows that Vieira might be the next title challenger in the future after Amanda Nunes. Kayla Harrison, old Triple H, managed to get Juliana Pena down very early in the first round, like halfway through it, and just beat her up, elbows, smother, pressure, drown her out. Brazilian song is famous in the USA. Do you know Sertanejo song? You mean the one for Alex Pereira? If not, I'm not sure. You can send me the link, Paulo H. But Juliana Pena looked like a victim on the ground. Harrison looked like an alpha male, apex predator, cerebral assassin, Triple H, and it's not due to visual comparisons whatsoever. And she got Juliana Pena down early first round, drowned her out easy first round, and then the second one she just got her down again just like that from the clinch, and then found a Kimura on top of Juliana Pena, and it was an easy round 2 sub. So she did not hit a pedigree. She did not hit a spine buster. She found the Kimura and had a great post-fight promo. She said everything she needed to say. And then Amanda Nunes walks into the cage, and they have a brief stare down, the both of them. That was an exciting moment, and Kayla gave a great response, like, you have your title, I have my legacy. Let's fight for them both. Let's go. That was a really good moment. So I'm glad that Kayla was able to hype the fight. She has the charisma to do so, and made for some good television. So I think people will be looking forward to Harrison versus Nunes in the near future. Really perfect, almost a near perfect performance from Kayla Harrison. So I'm a big fan of Kayla. I will say that she shook Trump's hand a little too aggressively and was having a little too much fun with them. But every single fighter in the UFC is a complete moron. So, it tends to happen that they sell their souls to the Trumpster himself. Everybody does in the UFC, even the fans. Let me see if I can find the stare down between the two of them. I can't seem to find it. Nope. There it is. Oop. Yeah, there was a big ass stare down between the two women, and I think people are going to be very excited for this upcoming fight. So glad we got a little hype on this thing. Let's move on to our next fight, our main event of the evening. Haven't seen Zeno in a while. I wonder where he is. There it is. Our last fight was between Rob the Wallace Wheelie and the Cuck, Sean O'Malley. And the little gremlin was able to get Sean O'Malley down to the mat. Sean O'Malley tried to catch Merab with a counter hook, tried to bob and weave and hit Merab with the sniper shot, just could not do it. All these MMA predictors thinking Sean O'Malley would find the KO like he was able to do it the first time, was not able to do it the first time. And Merab Dvalishvili just ate all the shots, and then immediately when Sean was against the fence, just took him down like that and smothered him out and just put him in dominant apex predator positions, alpha, and beat the crap out of Sean O'Malley on the ground. Round two comes around. Sean O'Malley is able to do more on the feet, able to catch Merab with a few more shots, but nothing that's wobbling him, nothing that's putting him at risk. And Sean O'Malley then gets hit with big overhand rights from Merab, rushing forward. Like that striking Merab showed against Umar was starting to rear its ugly head against O'Malley too. And O'Malley at one point got dropped. So the striking and the grappling advantages were all in Merab's corner. And then round three happens. Sean O'Malley's desperately looking for the shot. He can't find it. He's looking tired. Merab gets him down. Just O'Malley tries to get up, dragged back down, gets up, dragged back down. And to be fair, O'Malley, I think, had very good takedown defense. I think that's the only good thing he had in this fight. But other than that, his stand-up's just atrocious now. He has no power anymore, no timing, nothing for Merab moving backwards. And just started to eat shots, got dropped by Merab of all people, and on his back he's just as bad. And Merab just found the I don't know if it was a Darce or what. I think it was a Darce. Maybe it was an anaconda choke. I'm not sure. Let me check that really quick. It was a north-south choke. God, what an embarrassing way to go out. But Merab finds the north-south choke on O'Malley, tightens it up, twists his neck, and finds the tap easy, and then gives a very long post-fight interview, as he always does, but very inspirational at the same time. Joe Rogan's loving it. And how can you not feel happy for Merab, man? He's just a very nice guy. On EPO, to be fair, very much on EPO. But other than that, he's nice to everybody. He's friends with Sean O'Malley, friends with Aljo, friends with everybody, even friends with Corey Sandhagen. He shouted out Corey Sandhagen's YouTube channel, said he loved his stuff. Keep up the good. He's just a nice guy. You got to love Merab. Also, he's been very entertaining in his last couple fights, and that's made up for years of him stalling against the cage and not doing anything. So Merab's starting to turn his franchise around, starting to become a lovable fan favorite as a champion, and good for him. I never thought we'd get here, but here we are. My friends Pedro and Alex Fama de Pegador put this song on. I will put it on after the stream because copyright, But Merab earned this victory. I'm glad he found a finish. Actually put some hype on Merab for once. Maybe he'll get booed less at the next press conference, although I doubt it. They'll probably still boo Merab if it's an American fighting like Corey. But fantastic work for Merab, and he finishes Sean O'Malley, which is shocking. And I'm so glad we had 2 finishes in the 2 title fights. Makes for an easier watch, and overall, very good pay-per-view. I will say, as one last thing, it's embarrassing the amount of fighters that were shaking Trump's hand and hugging and kissing him and squeezing him and putting the fucking belt on him like they're Stormy Daniels, while Trump is ordering the deployment of 2,000 troops to LA to crack down on protests and destroy this democracy. And none of all the fighters are either accidentally ignorant or willfully ignorant of all of Trump's dictatorial moves right now as president. So they're just their heads are in the clouds right now. But then again, the entire UFC and their fan base are all have their head in the clouds. They have their head somewhere. It's up a certain leader's ass, but I won't be too specific on whose that would be, but you could kind of figure that out. But yeah, the UFC is a political propaganda machine. They have been, always will be, and we just have to deal with this reality and call it out when it happens. But fantastic pay-per-view. I thought it was great. Very easy watch. Didn't think it would be this good, but ended up being this good because some fighters I didn't expect to show out did show out, and great card. So I'm glad I watched it all the way through. Hopefully we'll have a fight companion to the next UFC card shortly. And question about Brazil. Not much because I love Brazil and I know quite a little bit about it as well. But thank you guys. I have been Hank the Tank. You have been the Hank Tank Army of the Troopers and Grinders. And hold on one second. Boop, boop, boop. And until we meet again, Troopers and Grinders, you have escaped the war zone for now. In your head, zombie, zombie, zombie.